Commander Marcus Chen had faced down plasma cannons, survived 3 interstellar wars, and single-handedly disabled a Krillian dreadnought with nothing but a maintenance pod and pure human stubbornness. But nothing, absolutely nothing had prepared him for the sight of Zarathic Velandra, pointing her ceremonial energy blade at his throat in the middle of the Galactic Council's diplomatic reception. "You're not worthy," the 7-foot-tall Alterian warrior princess declared, her violet eyes blazing with indignation. The crystalline formations along her temples pulsed with angry crimson light. A mere human thinks he can represent Earth in the trials of ascension? Pathetic. The assembled delegates, a colorful mixture of scales, tentacles, and exotic matter, stepped back in alarm. Even the usually unflappable Centauran ambassador's 4 eyes widened in surprise. Marcus, however, simply adjusted his black dress uniform and met her gaze steadily. "Well," he said, taking a sip of his bourbon, "that's unfortunate, because I'm the one Earth chose, and I'm not backing down." Zarathic's blade hummed menacingly. As the youngest commander in the history of the Royal Alterian Guard and heir to the warrior throne of Veltar Prime, she had never been challenged by what her people considered a soft species. Humans were known throughout the galaxy as diplomats, and engineers clever with words and tools, but hardly warriors. "Then you die with honor, at least," she growled. "I challenge you to ritual combat. Tomorrow, at dawn, in the arena of the Eternal Flame." Marcus nodded thoughtfully. "Traditional weapons only?" "Of course." "Blades and honor. No armor. None but what courage provides." Marcus smiled that particular human smile that had unnerved alien species across the galaxy, the one that suggested they were missing something important. "I accept." The next morning, the arena buzzed with hundreds of alien spectators. Most had come to witness what they assumed would be a brief and educational demonstration of why humans shouldn't reach above their station. The trials of ascension were sacred. Only the most elite warriors from each species could compete for the honor of representing their people in the galaxy's ultimate test of combat prowess. Zarathic entered the arena in traditional combat attire. Flowing silver robes that shimmered with embedded energy conduits, her ancestral blade gleaming in the artificial sunlight. She moved with the predatory grace of her warrior lineage, every step calculated and deadly. Marcus walked in wearing simple black pants and a white shirt, carrying what appeared to be an ordinary steel sword, an actual primitive metal blade that made several aliens chuckle in their various ways. "This is your weapon of choice?" Zarathic asked, her voice carrying across the arena through the translation matrix. "Ancient metal?" "Folded steel," Marcus corrected. "My great-grandfather carried this in the Second Pacific War. My grandfather used it in the colony rebellions. My father wore it during the first contact negotiations." He drew the blade, and the morning light caught the subtle patterns in the metal. "It's never let my family down." The ceremonial gong rang, and Zarathic launched herself forward with inhuman speed, her energy blade leaving trails of light in the air. She was magnificent, a perfect fusion of technology and biological enhancement, moving faster than human eyes should be able to track. But Marcus wasn't there when she struck. Human reflexes, honed by millennia of evolution on a deaf world, combined with the desperate adaptability that had carried their species from caves to starships, served him well. He didn't try to match her speed or strength. Instead, he did something uniquely human. He improvised. He used the arena itself as a weapon, ducking behind pillars, using momentum and angles, turning her advantages against her. When she leaped, he rolled. When she struck high, he went low. When she expected him to retreat, he pressed forward with reckless courage that bordered on insanity. For 20 minutes, they danced their deadly dance. Zarathic's blade carved through stone and metal, but Marcus's simple steel found its mark again and again, never seriously wounding, but accumulating small victories that began to tell. Finally, breathing hard, Zarathic found herself backed against the arena wall, Marcus's sword at her throat. The crowd fell silent. "Do you yield?" Marcus asked quietly. Zarathic stared at him for a long moment, her violet eyes reflecting something new: respect, admiration, and something else entirely. You fight like no warrior I have ever faced. I fight like a human, Marcus replied. We don't give up. She lowered her blade. I yield. The words seemed to surprise her as much as anyone. But I have a question. Ask it. In my culture, when a warrior is bested in honorable combat by an unmarked opponent, there is an ancient law. She paused, her crystalline formations now pulsing with what Marcus was beginning to recognize as embarrassment. The victor may claim the defeated as their mate if both are unwed. Marcus blinked. I'm sorry, what? You defeated me. I am technically yours to claim, if you wish. Her voice dropped to barely a whisper. It is not an entirely unpleasant prospect. The crowd erupted in astonished chatter. Marcus stood frozen, processing the implications. Finally, he did the most human thing possible. He started laughing. Zarathic Velandra, he said, sheathing his sword and extending his hand. Would you do me the honor of being my fiancé? Not because some ancient law says so, but because I like to get to know the woman who nearly killed me with such magnificent style. The warrior princess looked at his outstretched hand, then at his face, and for the first time in her life, smiled with genuine warmth. Yes, Marcus Chun of Earth, I believe I would like that very much. As she took his hand, the crowd's roar shook the arena. Later, the bards would sing of the day a human won not just a duel, but a heart with nothing but courage, steel, and the inexplicable audacity that made his species both infuriating and irresistible. The trials of ascension could. Wait, Marcus had just won something far more valuable.